94.9. FM 94.9, beautiful Friday it is. It's time to review the dailies and see what is happening in and around the country and beyond. My name is Olutayo, Ogunade, and the station is 32 FM 94.9, the laughter station. Dele, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tayo. Thank you so much for joining us, listener. Today is the 18th day in the month of November 2022. We have the time 29 minutes before 7 o'clock. Quickly, we'll look at the papers this morning. All right, taking a lead from Premium Times today. My first story here. Abysmal Super Eagles fall to Portugal. Okay, Adeyanju exits NAFTA as acting DG takes over. Lawmaker raises alarm over renewed killings in Plateau. Climate change, CJID, Premium Times released documentary on the impact of flooding in Nigeria. 133 million Nigerians living in poverty. That's according to the NBS. Africa could prevent 880,000 deaths yearly by tackling air pollution, climate change. That's a report. Senatorial candidate accuses SDP of awarding a ticket to defeated governorship candidate. 2023, Wike promises Peter Obi logistic support. Why allocation to intelligence agencies was cut. Reps panel. Wike promises, I took that. Underage voters, INEC to investigate infractions, discipline culpable officials. ICPC recovers 117 billion naira in 8 months. Owasanye, ICPC arraigns retired judge for age falsification. And 2023, governors responsible for political violence, IGP. From the Daily Post newspaper, health bodies urge countries to establish damage fund for climate change. Federal government expresses concern over killing of 3 Nigerians in South Africa. 2023, why I won't insult Tinubu to show I am not supporting him, Ayo Fayoshe. Embrace safety culture on highways, Kwara sector commander to road users. Ex-Minister Shetima Mustafa passes away. Also, 2023, 2,000 Southeast businessmen support Tinubu's campaign with 1 billion naira. TikToker recants after claiming Oshibaju's daughter was arrested in UK. 2023, Nike communities list development priorities for Enugu PDP Guba candidate. I'll look at that story later. Olaya flyover conceived to forestall needless accidents in Oshogbo. Oyetola, service-wide votes. Nigerian Law Reform Commission fails to justify used 756 million naira before Senate committee. COAS charges troops to deploy their newly acquired combat capabilities to defeat enemies. Just a few more before we look at another paper. Nigeria should revert to 6334 system of education, Uni Lori Dawn. And ICPC recovers 117 billion naira in 8 months. Owasoye. All right, look at another paper here. We go to the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria says 133 million citizens are living in poverty. Okay, US, UK lobbied me to push for same-sex marriage in Nigeria. Former minister. CSO seeks sanctions against underage voting, duplication in INEC register. Finally, Tinubu meets Khan, allays same-faith ticket fears. federal government. ASU face-off. Government won't pay for service not rendered. Minister insists. Some more from The Guardian. Ataga's murder. Police stole my statement, coerced me to sign theirs. Chidima alleges month after family demands whereabouts of abducted ex-NNPC director. 2 orders. Another one here, mass housing, economic masterstroke, social security. Says FHA, Ebola outbreak in Uganda worsens amid hope for vaccines. Abiodun presents 472.26 budget to Assembly. Should I bother to go to the sports side of The Guardian? Well, Dennis misses penalty as Portugal hammers Nigeria 4-0.
All right, from the Punch newspaper, Ataga, I was forced to sign prepared police statement, says Chidinma. I don't regret stopping Buhari's impeachment. Omagege, Unilag student slums dies playing football. Also, anger as last mile officials clamp down motorists with trumped-up charges. Address Igbo marginalization. Southeast tells Tinubu. Soludo has no regret over until B comments. Aid. Also, NSCDC naps vandals in Kano. Ex-convict breaks into LASG fire service, steals valve. Ogun students, lockout officials, protest poor clinic. Naira depreciation. Inflation erode workers 25 trillion naira salaries. Nigeria's poverty exceeds World Bank projection. 5 states lead. And the last one here, rise maize production to slump 11.5%. Affects.
Well, let's take a look at Daily Trust newspaper. Governors ordering disruption of campaigns. IGP, Intelligence Agency, NBS report. Insecurity, energy crisis plunge 133 million Nigerians into poverty. Nadal signs off with win, avoids matching worst run. Senegal's Mane, ruled out of 2022 World Cup. Soldier guns down colleague, opens fire on UN pilots in Borno. NBS reports insecurity, energy. Same. Some Nigerians, most Nigerians are in poverty now. It's a sad one. IPOP commanders shot dead. Stolen INEC device recovered. Stashed cash. More governors under radar. EFCC, insecurity, Nigerian suffering, but we have our limitations as intelligence agencies. NSA. Some more here before we go on our first commercial break. APC campaign targets northern farmers, traders, orders for Tinubu, and lower carbon drive challenge of present age. We'll be back after this commercial.
Hi, my name is Tenny Makanaki, and did you know the metaverse is made for us to create, to free our imagination, and bring our biggest ideas to life? If you can dream it, you can create it. With Metaspark, your music isn't just for your fans at home. Your augmented reality stage can be anywhere. Dress up your avatar and give it some bling. And your next art piece can also be a one-of-a-kind digital collectible. So what are you waiting for? Come flex first in the metaverse with Meta Technologies. Naija, go to meta.com to discover how.
Looking for ways to earn extra money on the side within just a few hours of work a day? Then be a J-Force agent for Jumia. All you need to do is help customers place their orders, notify them of special deals and offers, and also earn cool money from commissions on every item successfully purchased through you. It's that easy. Register now to be a J-Force agent at the nearest Jumia pickup station closest to you, or you can call this number 091 393 75347. Again, 091 343 75347. To get started. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Better don land o! Close Up toothpaste don carry the senior brother of Awoof enter town. When you buy 140 grams Close Up, you go get free 25 grams Close Up complete fresh protection with no extra cost. That is to say, for every 140 grams Close Up red toothpaste wey you buy, free 25 grams Close Up complete fresh protection dey there for you. Make una rush am as e dey hot before e finish. Close Up, stay fresh and protected.
So, here's exactly what 7-Up's Fido Dido thinks about life. That's right, Fido has no time to think, and overthink life. Fido just does Fido. Fido likes to chill out on billboards and sip several cans, bottles, and glasses of 7-Up. In fact, when Fido isn't sipping 7-Up, he's drinking it. Fido chooses to be a black and white character who gives the world 1,000,000,001 colors. And when Fido doesn't feel like talking on radio, he gets people like me to talk for him. Fido is Fido, and you should be you, because nothing shall pass.
7 Up. Be you. Nothing sure pass. 7 Up. The diff is clear.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi, àtúntì gbèdé o lójú ẹsẹ̀ tó ń gbóná fẹ́lí ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy.
Ayẹyẹ tó yílẹ̀ ayé yẹn padà látọwọ́ Glow ni.
Gbàgede tó kún fún àwọn ẹ̀bùn jàǹkànjàǹkàn fún jíjẹ.
Ilé ogún tuntun.
Ọkọ̀ mẹ́rìnlélógún tuntun.
Ẹ̀rọ 100 kan tó ń pèsè iná.
Ẹ̀rọ ìrọṣọ 200. Ẹ̀rọ afẹ́tẹ́gùn tó ń gbaná sára ẹgbẹ̀rún kan.
Àtàwọn ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ẹgbẹ̀rún ẹ̀bùn tó ká màmá.
Ṣé àti tẹ *611# láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì jẹ́ nínú ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy. Ra dátà tí ó tó ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọgọ́rùn-ún náírà lásìkò ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí. Ó dẹ̀ lè jẹ̀bú ilé tó o bá dẹ̀ ra ìwé ìpè tàbí dátà láti $100 sí ẹgbẹ̀rún 10 náírà lóṣooṣù lọ́sẹ̀ẹsẹ̀ àbí lójoojúmọ́. Wàá ní àǹfààní àti jẹ ẹ̀bùn ọkọ̀ tuntun ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ kan pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀bùn tó ká màmá.
Má kàn rẹpẹtẹ kó lọ́nà gẹ̀rẹ̀.
Tẹ *611# ní báyìí láti darapọ̀ kó o dẹ̀ máa jẹ lọ. Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí ń bẹ láti oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2022 títí di oṣù kìíní ọdún 2023. Àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ó ń bẹ o.
Glow Unlimited.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Ọlọ́run wòlíì Sàmúdù àlọ́ Adámímọ́gò máa rìnrìn agbára bóyá ká lọ gbàre wá.
Ìsọjí ọjọ́ mẹ́sàn-án pẹ̀lú dedication Adámímọ́gò Jesus City ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Adámímọ́gò Global Convention ọjọ́ ayọ̀ ti 2022. Àkòrí tí Ọlọ́run fún wòlíì rẹ̀. Prọfẹ̀sà Olúwalọ Adámímọ́gò ìtúsílẹ̀ pátápátá. Látọjọ́ Friday 25th November di Sunday 4 December ní o. Iṣẹ́ agbára ọlọ́kọ̀ ìjọ kan máa ṣe pẹ̀lú ìpè Ọlọ́run lórí àwọn ìránṣẹ́. Àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí bíi sí aláwìyé àlùkò. Bùkọ́lá Akí Adéṣẹ́wọlé Jésù. Esther Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé. Ìlàjà Kétódì Ọlọ́run Sábẹ́. Adéyínká Aláṣeyọrí. Pásítọ̀ S. Ọládélé CAC President Worldwide. Prọfẹ̀sà Olúwalọ Adámímọ́gò. Wọ́n máa súre fún gbogbo èèyàn. Àǹfààní one-on-one counseling tó máa wà o. Ní Jesus City ti Adámímọ́gò. Tó wà ní Ìbẹ̀jú Lẹ́kì Ẹ̀pẹ́ Expressway. Ìlàmìjà Village. Beside Alaro City Lega. Ẹ̀rí ọjọ́ ayọ̀. Àjọ máa sọ ni.
Plenty discount. On Jumia Black Friday, Friday. No go jackpot because of Sakpa.
Beat Sakpa with Jumia Black Friday. From November 4th till the 30th, you can get access to all those products you've had your eyes on all year at prices that will leave some change in your pocket. You also don't have to pay for delivery fees on thousands of products when you order above 1,999 naira. T's and C's apply.
Sakpa one day was swallow, but I get it. Jumia, good quality,
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Hi, my name is Tenny Makanaki, and did you know the metaverse is made for us to create, to free our imagination, and bring our biggest ideas to life? If you can dream it, you can create it. With Metaspark, your music isn't just for your fans at home. Your augmented reality stage can be anywhere. Dress up your avatar and give it some bling. And your next art piece can also be a one-of-a-kind digital collectible. So what are you waiting for? Come flex first in the metaverse with Meta Technologies. Naija, go to meta.com to discover how.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. It's 32 FM. Thank God it's a beautiful Friday.
My name is Dele Adeyanju. Thank you once again for joining us.
I'm Olutayo. Ogunade. Prof joins us live in the studio. Good morning to you, Prof.
Yeah, top of the day to you.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Professor Olu Ojedokun. All right, we have a report here from the Punch newspaper this morning. The National Bureau of Statistics has disclosed that 133 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. In its latest National Multidimensional Poverty Index report launched yesterday, the NBS said that 63% of Nigerians were poor due to a lack of access to health, education, living standards, employment, and security. And the Vanguard reports that same story with this headline: 133 million Nigerians multidimensionally poor, NBS. And the PDP has reacted: APC leaving behind poverty as legacy. But my first question is, as the PDP reasoning as a formidable opposition to the APC?
You mean, are they a formidable opposition?
Yeah, opposition. Did they, over the period of 8 years, form a formidable opposition?
Well, if they had formed a formidable opposition, we would not be having a third-party candidate who is really on the ascendancy in some respects. Nobody's saying he's going to win, but we're saying at least he's presenting himself as an opposition of some sort. I think there's been many deficiencies in the way that PDP has presented themselves. And many people really feel that PDP could have been more robust in tackling the APC in terms of the way the government has been run, in terms of poverty alleviation, in terms of even deficiencies, even the way that the infrastructure is being rolled out. I give an example. I was at the airport the other day, and yes, they have many more carousels. Carousels are what they use for the baggages. There are many more. But if you see the quality of these so-called carousels, because I've traveled many places, the carousels that are going to break down in the next 6 months, they're just not worth it, yes, and yet it's infrastructure. You would have expected PDP to tackle them on the currency, the weakness of the currency, the inflation rate, the unemployment rate, the lack of foreign direct investment, and so many other things. But the PDP has not been cooperative.
They went to sleep.
Well, they went to sleep. And I think the problem with the PDP has always been that some of its principal actors spend most of their time in Dubai when there are no elections.
Are you referring to Atiku, who is the
Of course, I'm referring to Atiku. Spend most of the time in Dubai when there are no elections, and all of a sudden, when elections are around the corner, you emerge. That's not the way elections are won. Elections are won through hard and work and grit. You do it consistently on a daily basis from that point of view. Having said that, it would have been easier for PDP to be an effective opposition because the APC, to be quite honest, have not lived up to any expectation at all. The judgment or the bar which we measure the APC is the bar which they set for themselves when they came in. And they made a number of promises. And the question is, have they met those promises? And PDP hasn't tackled them.
Now we have Nigeria. Nigeria's poverty in 3D or 5D or 7D, I don't know, but it's multidimensional in different areas. How is the next, whoever becomes the president, going to lift us out of this poverty quagmire?
First and foremost, I'm not going to engage, or I'm not going to use that word multidimensional, because I think I just over-grammatizing, you understand, a stuck problem. The problem is that there is poverty everywhere.
What they are trying to say is the health, education, living standards, employment.
So it's poverty. I understand what they're trying to say. Yes, it's across the board, and I think all this multidimensional thing is not the issue. But if you look at it, Britain's poverty level or Britain's living standard is now reduced to 2013 to what it was in 2013. So first and foremost, let's be very clear that it's not only Nigeria that is being affected, but across the world, poverty levels are rising from that point of view. But could we have done things to mitigate it? Certainly. A country that spends most of its earnings or all of its earnings on subsidy is not a serious country at all. And I feel that if some of that money, you understand, had been used, you understand, for poverty alleviation programs, we will be in a better position. Of course, there will be issues to do when you remove subsidy. What's going to happen? I know there will be issues, but I think the government has been tried to be intentional, but their efforts have been misdirected. After all, they've been doing the feeding program. So, feeding program has been quite massive.
Clearly, from what you say, what you just said now, poverty is not an inevitable phenomenon.
No, it's not.
Okay, and it's not peculiar to Nigeria.
Oh, it's not certainly not peculiar to Nigeria.
The question we keep asking, I mean, Nigeria is so blessed with both human and natural resources and all that. Why do we have this, massive poverty in Nigeria? And can it be reversed? Can it be reversed?
I hope so. I think it certainly can be reversed. But I think the reason why we have massive poverty is I think a lot of it is misplacement of priorities, misgovernance to a certain extent. I give an instance, for instance, the cost of governance in this country, you understand, at the end of the day, a lot of ministries, a lot of agencies exist to pay salaries and not to do any meaningful job from that point of view. Because it's overstaffed, number one, but too much bureaucracy, too much perks of office, Esther codes. I'll give an instance, for instance, and it relates to Mr. President. When Mr. President travels abroad and so on and so forth, travels with up to 100 aides. All of them get Esther codes on varying levels, and you know the cost that has cost implication. So when most of our money is going on fueling bureaucracy, maintaining bureaucracy, and shaping bureaucracy, then it means that there's less money to intervene in terms of education. Education is long term, but it reduces poverty in terms of the immediate alleviation, you understand. And then even when we give contracts for feeding children all over the country from that point of view, the end product doesn't really alleviate any poverty. Because first and foremost, the food that is given to those children, some people have suggested it's not even fit for regular consumption. Secondly, most of the money is mismanaged and embezzled. So at the end of the day, you're not really relieving poverty. What you're doing is you're rearranging the decks in terms of the wealth amongst the rich from that point. And then, of course, insecurity, you understand, which is a byproduct of the socio-economic factor. The insecurity makes it sometimes very
How
difficult.
can we correct the economic inequality? That is what is fueling this extreme poverty in this country.
Yes, I think first and foremost, we must ensure that we invest a lot in education and health. That's going to be it, and it's not going to be a short-term thing. So we have to start from there. But I think also that the government has to create an enabling environment for industry, an enabling environment for employment to be there. Because if people don't have jobs, if people are not gainfully employed, then there will always be poverty. They'll be reliant on remittances that come from abroad, or for the little that most of us who are employed earn. So I think health, education, and then employment opportunities, business environment, liberalize the business environment, ensure that people are able to set up their businesses very, very quickly and run it. One of the good things they did was with the CAC. It used to take months to be able to set up a business.
If there's
now it takes
anything,
weeks.
Prof, if there's anything true about the cash that we're beginning to see, loads of cash being stored up by some people, some of them mutilated now, and we're just discovering as a result of the Naira redesign policy of the federal government, then it means Nigerians are the ones that has underdeveloped Nigeria itself.
Well,
if you're talking about the leadership, the followership also.
No, the followership has a role to play. 2.7 trillion was unaccounted for by by CBN. They didn't know where the money was. They certainly didn't know. And now I think from what Mr. Tayo is saying, many of them were under pillows in wells and in also yes, from that point of view. And you know that money produces money. If there's a lot of money around, it can create more jobs, it can create prosperity. But if there's not money is not flowing, you know, one of the reasons why people loved Akala, I'm sorry to bring up his name, but one of the reasons why they loved him was they said when Akala was governor, that money was flowing, you know, and so people were able to create businesses and so on and so forth. So I think, yes, what the CBN is doing is good in some respects. Some of us quarrel with CBN because we feel it's too fast, too quick. But some people have suggested that it's a good thing. You understand? At least there'll be more money that they can account for, that they can monitor, and there'll be more money in the hands of people.
With the type of followership we have as Nigerians, do you think we can have the right leadership from this same followership?
Well, I think the followers too are part of the problem. And of course, the followers, if they are not well educated, if they are not well sensitized, or if they are as greedy, you understand, as many of us think they are, then of course we are not going to get the right leadership. So if people are prepared to mortgage their choice for what's it called? What do we call it? We don't call it widow's mess. You know what we call it anyway. Something of porridge, a mess of porridge or whatever. Then of course we are not going to get it right. I think, you know, that the populace, whilst it's sophisticated to a certain extent, I think many people live for the day, don't live for the long term. And except our followership is properly educated, we will continue to get bad leadership, you know, from that point of view. And hence, you understand, this 2023 is going to prove to us whether we want to move forward as a nation or whether we're going to resile back into, various positions, which is not about the best candidate, but about where the candidate probably comes from or where we will butter our own selfish personal interest.
All right, let's quickly talk about this particular one. 2023 Wike promises Peter Obi logistics support. What does that mean?
It promises Wike, or Wike promises Obi.
Wike promises Obi.
Well, there were people speculating, you know, and I never believed it that Obi was probably supporting the APC and he would support Tinubu. But I think Obi has read the fig leaves to suggest that the people of the South may actually be supporting Peter Obi. So I think he's just going on the bandwagon. In other words, what he's suggesting is that he's going to direct his support towards Obi's camp.
He's been inaugurating projects lately and inviting people more from the APC. Of course, he provided a balance by also inviting Peter Obi and all that, but you can see him tending towards the APC. Does that suggest Wike could be supporting Ashwaji Tinubu, from behind or something?
Well, I can't. My choice of words escapes me, but I think he's flying a kite. I think Wike is a politician. And I think Wike has been doing zigzag all over the place. In other words, so that people will not be able to pin him down. But I think at the end of the day, if you look at read it, whether or not Obi is going to make any appreciable progress in other parts of the country is open for question. But in the southeast, what is quite clear, which includes Rivers, which is south-south, is that those people are tending towards Obi. And I think Wike, whilst he controls the politics there, would not really want to be against on the other side of the people. So, and his main objective is to ensure that Atiku doesn't come back. That's my reading. I might be wrong, but I think that's his main objective. And I think Obi or Atiku, Tinubu, whichever one of them, you understand, suits him. But people have also suggested that Wike would want somebody who would be able to give him some sort of soft landing, and that he's certainly not going to get that with Atiku.
All right, quickly let's look at this story, and it's about the leadership followership thing that we discussed the other time, and it's linked with the Naira redesign. There was a time, Prof, if you remember very well, that the CBN made, I think, a law or something that Naira should not be mutilated. I think it went to the House. I'm not very sure now that nobody should spray Naira notes. No, it should not be defaced and all that. Now we are re-engineering or redesigning the Naira, and the CBN has re-emphasized that Nigerians should handle the new Naira notes with dignity, as strict consequences await those mishandling the currency. Do you see this as becoming law in this country?
But it's law already. It's just words. It's law.
So
You're not supposed to spray. You're not supposed to be doing all those antics that some of us come up with when we go to parties and social events.
So why do we look away when people spray or handle?
Some of it is cultural. Some of it is cultural. If you're in the Southwest, it's a cultural phenomenon, from that point of view. And all these people that are talking about
Southwest.
South, particularly the Southwest. It's extended beyond the Southwest, but it started as a phenomenon in the Southwest. Having said that, I challenge, you understand, even the governor of the central bank, whether he's been at parties where spraying hasn't occurred. From that point of view, you can't deny that it's been there. So I think enforcement is really a problem, especially where it's culture. You see, I teach jurisprudence, and sometimes you make laws, and the laws are not in consonance with the culture of the people. And when you make laws which are not in consonance with the culture of the people, those laws are ineffective. So the law about spraying is ineffective because it's cultural. That's our culture from that point of view. Whether or not it's the right thing or not is not the question. So when they talk about enforcement, there are many more things that are affecting Nigerians than spraying, you understand? And many more things that law enforcement should be involved in than focusing on spraying. So yes, they may say that, but at the end of the day, I can't see it being enforced.
Isn't this linked to people that sell minted notes, where they sell it at exorbitant prices?
But that's corruption, isn't it? Because those minted notes, they have arrangements with the banks, you understand? And the banks will give you, when you go to withdraw, they will give you the dirty ones. But these ones, for a premium, they will get the minted notes and they will make money on it. And I suspect that those people are in collusion with some bank officials, because the minted notes are not produced in the factories. They're produced in the banks, or rather, central bank, and go to the bank. So yes, it's related to that. But I hope that the central bank will have a policy of renewing the notes maybe ever so often. Because you can't have notes that have been going on for 13 years. Of course, it's not going to be in a fit and proper state, So the CBN also has some work to do.
To mop up the dirty notes.
Yes, to mop up, because it's just, that some of these people in the central banks and the banks, they have to wear a mask when they're counting these things, because otherwise all manner of diseases might be afflicted.
Well, according to the CBN, if you spray Naira notes in a party or anywhere, it attracts a penalty of not less than 6 months or a fine of not less than 50,000 Naira or both.
That's the law. But Mr. Taya, I'll ask you that has anybody in recent times been so prosecuted? And I would ask and I would challenge them to produce a list, of how many people have been prosecuted. And it happens every weekend.
Even when we had Abakari attending, Abakari attended Obi Kubana's event and they sprayed a lot of Naira notes. So
absolutely.
What do you expect?
Yes, what do you expect? Yeah.
Right. Your PAC chairman arraigned for destroying Tinubu's billboard. And just yesterday, Nigeria friendly with Portugal. We lost to Portugal 4-0.
And we lost the penalty, didn't we?
It's unfortunate because I feel until as a country we evolve strategies, homegrown strategies to tackling some of the issues affecting us. We may not go anywhere. Even in sports, Dele, football, some of these guys are not from here. They pick them from abroad, and
Yes.
we're not getting it right. What
and
is
then you
that
have to
we
question
talk
the
about?
loyalty when they pick them from abroad. Are they really loyal to the country, or they are loyal to the dollar? No, you have to really question that. That's my own view anyway.
Oh.
Yes. I know some of them obviously were here before and went abroad. But there are some of them, when they come from abroad, really, they are not just after representing the country. Because if you look at Qatar and many of these countries, many of the people representing them today are immigrants, from that point of view. So they can really represent any country. So except you have that ingrained, patriotic desire within you, you come to the country.
Football
you
is
just pay for money.
a major unifying sport in Nigeria.
It should be.
Unfortunately, that sector is also gravely affected now. People are not even bothered whenever Nigeria is playing. I don't even bother to watch their games no longer.
Well, part of it has been because of heartbreaks. But also part of it has been, I don't know really what the NFA is doing, whether the NFA really has been really organizing the sport or really making sure that our stadiums are family friendly and children friendly and so on and so forth. Because that's what brings the unity. When we can go to stadiums together, we can rejoice together and we can relax together.
We'll go on another break. We'll be back.
Ǹjẹ́ òun wá ọ̀nà láti máa ní àfikún owó lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan lẹ́yìn tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ fún sáà díẹ̀ lójúmọ́? Ó yá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn aṣojú Jumia tá a mọ̀ sí J-Force Agent. Ìwọ ṣáà ti ran àwọn oníbàárà lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe ìbéèrè fún ọjà tí wọ́n fẹ́ rà. Kó o fi àwọn àkànṣe ètò tó bá wà nílẹ̀ tó wọn létí. Kó o sì máa gba owó lọ látara ìpín lórí gbogbo ọjà tí wọ́n bá rà. Nípasẹ̀ rẹ̀ ló bá tán. Lọ forúkọsílẹ̀ báyìí láti di aṣojú J-Force ti Jumia ní ibùdó ìgbà ọjà tó súnmọ́ ọ jùlọ. Tàbí kó o pè sórí 091-393-75347. Ẹ tún gbọ́ o 091-393-75347 láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Jumia, ohun èlò ojoojúmọ́ rẹ lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó rẹ.
Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited ń ṣàjọ̀dún ọdún méjì. Gbẹ̀dẹ̀mukẹ́ promo la fi ṣe láti sìn títí di ìparí ọdún. Olóko ògbówó ni Treasure Land Estate Lálàbàtà Abẹ́òkúta 100,000 naira péré ni. Greenland Estate Lálàbàtà yìí kan náà 200,000 naira péré nìyẹn. Achievers Estate Nídò Ìbàdàn ó ti di 450 báyìí. Kings Park Estate ní Mọ́níyà 1 million naira péré ni. Bákan náà látúnilẹ̀ ní Rehoboth Park and Garden Lélẹ́kùrú Mọ́níyà Sun City Estate Alábàtà Mọ́níyà. Lásìkò àjọ̀dún ọdún méjì àti Ember promo yìí ẹ wá kọ́fà tó lé ńlẹ̀ 100 blọọkù ń bẹ lẹ́sẹ̀pẹ́ fún gbogbo ń bá tó bá ṣe tá àti kọ́lé. Ẹ̀bùn ọdún ti kúnlẹ̀ falafala ráìsì ẹran òróró àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Èrò bá mi ká lọ sí Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited beside Aremu Block Industry opposite IITA Mọ́níyà Ìbàdàn tàbí second floor Osana House adjacent Mao filling station Ọlọ́runṣògo Road Abẹ́òkúta. 0901-697-4421 tàbí 081-3871-4860. Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited. Asọdún ayọ̀.
Better don land o! Close up toothpaste don carry the senior brother of Awoof enter town. When you buy 140 grams close up, you go get free 25 grams close up complete fresh protection with no extra cost. That is to say, for every 140 grams close up red toothpaste wey you buy, free 25 grams close up complete fresh protection dey there for you. Make una rush am as e dey hot before e finish. Close up, stay fresh and protected.
Hi, my name is Tenny Makanaki, and did you know the metaverse is made for us to create, to free our imagination, and bring our biggest ideas to life? If you can dream it, you can create it. With Metaspark, your music isn't just for your fans at home. Your augmented reality stage can be anywhere. Dress up your avatar and give it some bling. And your next art piece can also be a one-of-a-kind digital collectible. So what are you waiting for? Come flex first in the metaverse with Meta Technologies. Naija, go to meta.com to discover how.
ẹ ǹlẹ́ o alábàágbé mi mo ní kí n wá bẹ̀yìn wò ni. ìyá Bíọ́lá àlàáfíà la wà. ẹ ṣeun. mo kọ yín kọ wọ́n wà. ẹ̀yin náà ńkọ́. kódà ìyá mi lábúlé gan wà lálàáfíà. ìyá Bíọ́lá ṣé kò sí. mẹ́wòó ìtasọ́sọ́ jọ̀lọ́ fún yín ò jẹ́ rí mú mi o ni mo bá ní wá fọwọ́ ara mi tún ara mi ṣe.
ẹ wọlé wá jẹ́wọ́ jàre.
àgbéyẹ̀fun ìsẹ̀bẹ̀ ọ̀ngá jọ̀lọ́f tuntun dé o. ohun ìsẹ̀bẹ̀ tó ń fúnrẹ́sì jọ̀lọ́fù yín lójúlówó adùn àti ìtasọ́sọ́ jọ̀lọ́fù tí ò ṣeé kọ̀ sílẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
àbúrò òhè ni.
ọjà tí mo rà lórí Jumia ti dé.
Jumia níbí.
Ibo ló wá ń lọ? Mo ń lọ gbà. Jumia ti wà ní Lálùpọ̀ pẹ̀lú ibùdó ìgbà ọjà tó súnmọ́ yín ní shop 4 Able God Plaza Ẹlẹ́ṣin-Gódógbó bus stop òpópónà márosẹ̀ Ìbàdàn sí Ìwó Adéwùmí Ìbàdàn Ọ̀yọ́ State. Ní báyìí ẹ lè fi ìrọ̀rùn ra gbogbo ohun èlò ojoojúmọ́ tẹ́ nílò lórí Jumia ká gbé lọ sí ibùdó ìgbà ọjà náà kẹ̀sì lọ gbà. Ẹ lè sanwó lórí ayélujára tàbí nígbà tí ẹ bá gba ọjà yín ní ibùdó ìgbà ọjà wa. Ẹ sì tún lè ṣe ìbéèrè fún ọjà níbẹ̀. Ra ọjà lórí Jumia báyìí. Jumia, ohun èlò ojoojúmọ́ rẹ lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó.
ẹ̀yin tèmi àtúntì gbèdé o lójú ẹsẹ̀ tó ń gbóná fẹ́ni ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy.
ayẹyẹ tó yílẹ̀ ayé yẹn padà látọwọ́ Glow ni.
gbàgede tó kún fún àwọn ẹ̀bùn jàǹkànjàǹkàn fún jíjẹ.
ilé ogún tuntun.
ọkọ̀ mẹ́rìnlélógún tuntun.
ẹ̀rọ 100 kan tó ń pèsè iná.
ẹ̀rọ ìrọṣọ 200. ẹ̀rọ afẹ́tẹ́gùn tó ń gbaná sára 1,000 kan.
àtàwọn ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ẹgbẹ̀rún ẹ̀bùn tó ká màmá.
ṣáà ti tẹ *611# láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì jẹ nínú ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glow Festival of Joy. ra dátà tí ó tó ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà 100 náírà lásìkò ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí. ó dẹ̀ lè jẹ̀bú ilé tó o bá dẹ̀ ra ìwé ìpè tàbí dátà láti 105 sí ẹgbẹ̀rún 10 náírà lóṣooṣù lọ́sẹ̀ẹsẹ̀ àbí lójoojúmọ́. wàá ní àǹfààní àti jẹ ẹ̀bùn ọkọ̀ tuntun ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ kan pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀bùn tó kẹ́ màmá.
má kàn rẹpẹtẹ kó lọ́nà gẹ̀rẹ̀.
tẹ *611# ní báyìí láti darapọ̀ kó o dẹ̀ máa jẹ lọ. ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí ń bẹ láti oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2022 títí di oṣù kìíní ọdún 2023. àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ó ń bẹ o.
Glow Unlimited.
Plenty discount, on Jumia Black Friday, no go jackpot because of Sakpa.
Beat Sakpa with Jumia Black Friday. From November 4th till the 30th, you can get access to all those products you've had your eyes on all year at prices that will leave some change in your pocket. You also don't have to pay for delivery fees on thousands of products when you order above 1,999 naira. T's and C's apply.
Sakpa one day was swallow, but I get it, Jumia. Good quality,
Jumia, your everyday delivered. 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. 32 FM 949 Ibadan. We are ready to take your messages and pick some calls this morning. Hello.
Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Daily morning.
Morning.
Bro, good morning. This is
Good morning, sir.
I actually want to ask a question in line with what you actually say. Is PDP really an opposition or a lame duck part of APC? Can we really ask ourselves, most of the people in this PDP, are they not actually people that are moving from one party to the other? I think one of the reasons is that no proper ideology in terms of politics. That's actually why you have a lot of them that are agile. Any government in power, they just follow, even if they are supposed to be in opposition. And with this, we are going nowhere. Until one, our parties bring out a proper ideology, what they believe, how to go about it, we will not go anywhere. Good morning.
Thank you. Okay. 0906200 949 0705 5000 949. Good morning, Dele and Tayo. About Wike supporting Obi logistically. Honestly, the kind of Wike system type of politics may eventually consume him. He didn't identify himself to a party or candidate. Let us follow how the game will go. Raja Fiz Raja. Hello. Hello, good morning. The caller is there. You may want to call us or try us again. Another one here from Ogunade Adekunle. The federal government of today is not concerned about the plight of average Nigerian. They have no substantial plan to rescue Nigerians. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This electronic is highly interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on board. I'm Mr. Collins from Ibadan. You see, let me start with two issues for that government. If the Minister of Labour Productivity, Dr. Zingide, is saying that he cannot pay for the work they did not do, fine. According to labor standard law. But a lot of officers who perform their duty, who have performed one duty to ensure self-employed people on campus, so that the moment they talk from strike, they will see that to work with. Till now, they are not be paid with their withheld formal salary. And by their standard law, they work, and they should be paid. Coming to the weekend issue with support of PWB, it's a good development for the G5 governors. We see more of it. They are showcased that he is highly obedient like our former President Obasanjo did. Although it's a living ancestor, and anywhere he sees, let us see in that way. So it's a welcome development for the obedient movement. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you too. 09062,949 08097,949. Good morning. Isn't okay? There's a call here. Hello.
Hello, sir. Dele. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You read two things about billboard destruction. Security people in that government. You said your PMS manager was docked. If we want you to read the two stories, have a nice time. God bless you.
All right. Prof, somebody said that Wike doesn't have any electoral value. Do you agree with that?
No, absolutely.
Since it's done 8 years now.
Well, the evidence will suggest that Wike is
Hello,
quite
good morning.
popular within the River State.
Hi, good morning. Sorry, Prof.
Hello, good morning. Adeyanju is my name.
Good to have you.
I want to support the first caller who said that most of these people that are moving from one party to the other, they are the one causing problems in Nigeria. And this is basically caused by the lack of ideology. You can imagine in the United States, the Republicans and the Democrats, they are never friends. Even they don't allow their children to mingle with each other. And that was how it was during our later Baba Olawo time. This NCNC and the UPN, they don't mingle together. But now the new and latest political ideology that they have is materialism. A professor told me this while we were at the newspaper stand, and I laughed. That all of them, what they want now is that they want to acquire wealth. I listened to a caller yesterday saying that they must vote APC out. Who are the people causing problems in APC today? Is it not the people that migrated from PDP to APC? Is it not the likes of Ngige and all of them? So I think we should be focused now. We should define what we want to do, what we want to have in terms of political party. And if political party is not working again, let's go for individual candidates. Let's vote for our choice candidate, irrespective of party affiliation they have or the tribe they come from. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now to the story of auxiliary. The chairman of the Oyo State Park Management System, Alhaji Mukala Lamidi, also known as auxiliary, has been arraigned before a chief magistrate court in Ibadan. The police arraigned him before the court, presided over by Chief Magistrate Taiwo Oladron on charges of conspiracy, willful and unlawful damage. The police prosecutor told the court that Lamidi and others at large on November the 13th, 2022, at around 6:50 p.m. at Igbora in the Barakwa zone of the state, conspired and willfully destroyed billboards bearing the pictures of the 2023 presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. It's a long one, but that's majorly what we have there. Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Surprisingly, I want to corroborate the point of the last caller.
Yes.
He said during Awolowo's time, you dare move to another party, then you are seen as a betrayer. And that stigma stays with you forever.
Because there were clear ideological lines. You know, when you espouse the ideology, whether it was welfareism or whether it was capitalism, whatever it was, the ideological lines were clear. Today, there are no clear ideological lines.
At the JOS event, you see Omishore, who has been with the APC, the SDP, the PDP. You see Atiku.
Hello.
Yes. So now, why won't Asiwaju say PD?
Good
APC?
morning.
Yes. Good morning.
All right. So maybe they now see it as, collaboration is better than competition.
Well, but also they see it as just a vehicle to achieve power. And power for what purpose? Just for the sake of power, not for the sake of implementing any ideology.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, morning.
I'm John Jacob. Professor, thank you. You see, an academic organization like ours ought to know the direction of this government when it comes to credibility, when it comes to honesty, when it comes to honor and truth. The party between the federal government and that was won and lost, the day the federal government said that to the industrial court, requesting, among other things, that the court compelled us to resume work before starting any of the issues. The industrial court granted the request and asked us to resume business for national interest. The appeal by us for a fear of execution of the order from the industrial court was rejected by the appeal court, which equally directed us to resume work all for national interest. The federal government thereby capitalized on this directive from both courts and decided not to pay us.
Well, we have to wrap up at this time, but before then, I pray we have a Nigeria where there won't be easy cross-carpeting from one party to the other. That's when we will have the right leadership.
Well, the Constitution also has a role to play. And it's only when the Constitution actually penalizes people for unnecessarily cross-carpeting the word you used, then we will begin to see limitations there.
Thank you, Professor Olutayo, for sharing your morning.
Thank you.
My name is Olutayo Ogunade.
My name is Dele Adeyanju.
Commission in their own place. So I have a choice to invite whoever I want to come and commission a project. A biggie man, 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 a biggie man. He don't get for size, oh biggie man, a biggie man, biggie man, a biggie man. On Wednesday, Adams Oshomole will come and commission. On Thursday, Peter Obi will come and commission. As he dey bend them, he dey see with us. As he dey see with us, he go dey pepper them. Hey! On Friday, President Buhari will commission the Nigerian Law School. Moramo,